Yokai Watch, Japanese Yokai Watchi, is a Japanese mixed media franchise of a Japanese role-playing games and toys created and developed by Level 5. The first game in the series was released for the Nintendo 3DS, in 2013. Three main sequels and several spin-offs and both Nintendo and mobile platforms have been released. In December 2019, they have expanded to the PlayStation with the release of Yokai Watch 4 Plus Plus. Six adaptations have also been produced. One, a series began serialization in Shogokan Koro Koro O comic from December 2012, became an award winner. An anime television series produced by OLM Inc. began airing in Japan from January 2014 and was a rating success, boosting the franchise in popularity, and began airing in North America from September 2015. An animated film was released in December 2014, with three more films being produced. As of 2022, the game series has sold over 17 million copies worldwide. Despite not meeting Level 5's expectations in the US, the franchise still enjoyed a successful US launch, with the original 3DS game selling over 400,000 units, as well as toys and the airing of the TV series on Disney XD in the United States on September 5, 2015. However, interest in Yokai Watch franchise steadily declined, and Hasbro's Yokai Watch toy line was discontinued in the United States in 2017 and Europe and Latin America in 2018. Concept: the franchise was first thought up as a Doraemon IP, something that could be long lasting over a long period of time. Akihiro Hino, CEO of Level 5, researched extensively what makes a franchise long lasting and came up with Yokai Watch. Yokai Watch revolves around befriending yokais that are haunting the city. They are based on traditional yokai, Japanese mythological creatures, but often with clever twists. If one befriends a yokai, they get their friendship medal and allows them to summon yokai. With these, they can summon yokai to either fight other yokai, befriend others, or solve everyday tasks. The basic plot for most of the media is that the main character, either Nate or Katie, obtains a yokai watch through Whisper, a butler yokai. They befriend Jabanyan, a cat who haunts an intersection because he thinks his owner, when he was lame, he called him lame for getting hit by a truck. During the anime's run, other yokai were introduced. Media. List of Yokai Watch media. Main series. The main video game series is a role-playing video game where the player befriends yokai and fights the bad ones that seek to rule over the world. The main emphasis in the game is based on fighting the yokai. All of the main series games of the Yokai Watch 2 have the same battle style, using the 3DS touchscreen during battles to rotate amongst the player's yokai at will. All of the yokai have powerful moves called ultimates, some being healing moves, but most of them being offensive. In Yokai Watch 3, the battle was changed into more of a grid-based movement system, and the added use of the Dream Link to the Yokai Watch blaster against foes during battle. Yokai Watch. Main article. Yokai Watch. Parentheses. Video game. The first game in the main series, Yokai Watch, was introduced at the 2011 Tokyo Game Show and first released in Japan on July 2013. It sets the foundation of the rest of the video game franchise, introducing all of the main mechanics. The game was released in North America on November 6, 2015, and on Europe on April 29, 2016. Yokai Watch 2. Main article. Yokai Watch 2. The second main game in the series was released in Japan on July 10, 2014, as two versions, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls. Yokai Watch 2 expands areas to be explored with nearly 100 new yokai in the present day of the Kumamoto region, called Harrisville outside of Japan, and in the past, where the player time travels to meet traditional yokai and sees their grandfather, who made a predecessor to the Yokai Watch. A third version, Psychic Spectres, was released on December 12, 2014, to to coincide with the first Yokai Watch film, Yokai Watch Tanjo no Himitsu Danyang. Psychic Spectres, Psychic Spectres featured characters and scenario not initially in Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls. Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls were localized in English and released in the United States on September 30, 2019, April 7, 2017 in Europe. The localized Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls received the Oni Evolution update on September 14, 2017, making those games compatible with save data from the Western release of Psychic Spectres on September 29, 2017. Yokai Watch 3, main article, Yokai Watch 3. In Japan, Yokai Watch 3 was announced alongside Yokai Watch Busters in April 2015 and released with sushi and tempura versions on July 16, 2016. Two main characters are playable at the same time, Nate Adams and Haley Ann. The first half of the game has Nate and his family moving from Springdale to the United States, which is called BBQ, in the localization in the fictional town of St. Petersburg, where new American-themed American yokai can be found. The other half of the game focuses on a new character, Haley Ann Thomas, and her partner yokai, Usapion, I'm not gonna say Usapion, who run a detective agency together. A third version, Sukiyaki, was eventually released in Japan and on December 16, 2016. Sukiyaki combines sushi and tempura into one game, as well as additional exclusives. On September 27, 2018, Nintendo of America announced that Yokai Watch 3 was getting a localization outside of Japan, which released December 16, 2018 in Europe, and January 2019 in North America. Yokai Watch 4, main article, Yokai Watch 4. Yokai Watch 4 was released on the Nintendo Switch in Japan in June 20, 2019. It features character designs from Yokai Watch Shadow Side, as well as the original designs. The game also includes characters from the previous games, as well as the main characters from Yokai Watch Forever Friends. An enhanced version, Yokai Watch 4 was later released both as paid DLC. An enhanced version, Yokai Watch 4 was later released as both a paid DLC as well as an enhanced version, Yokai Watch 4 was later released both as a paid DLC as well as retail for both Switch and PlayStation 4 on December 5, 2019. An English localization was under consideration as confirmed by Level 5 during Anime Expo 2019, but due to the company's American branch shutting down, the status of the game's localization is currently unknown. Other games, Blasters, main article, Yokai Watch Blasters. A spin-off game, Yokai Watch Blasters, Yokai Watch Basutazu, was first announced in April 2015 issue of Koro Comics alongside Yokai Watch 3. Busters allowed up to 4 players to cooperate in battling boss yokai. The first two versions of the game, Akanekodan and Shiroi no Tai, were released on July 11, 2015. A free expansion for the two Blasters games called Getokumi was released on December 12, 2015, adding characters and settings featured in the second anime featured film, Yokai Ochi Enmadayo to Itsutsu no Monogatari Danyan. Sequel, Yokai Watch Busters 2, Secret of the Legend Sword Banbaraya, or Yokai Watch Busters 2, Hiho Dendetsu Banbaraya, was also released in 2 versions, Sodo and Magunamu, on December 16, 2017. The sequel games are compatible with save data from the first games as well as the 3 versions of Yokai Watch 3. The first game was localized in English versions as Yokai Watch Blasters, where it released in September 7, 2018. The game would be released outside Japan under the same two version brandings as Red Cat Corps and White Dog Squad. A free update for both games, Moon Rabbit Crew, was released in December was released on September 27, 2018. Busters 2 has not been localized into English and will most likely not released due to the fact Nintendo 3DS production was discontinued. Other associated games. The data card-ass game, Yokai Watch Tomodachi Ukipedia, was location tested in late December 2013 and debuted in the Next Generation World Hobby Fair Winter 2014 before being released early in 2014. The game is much like Bandai's other data card-ass games, in which the player must use an interface resembling a slot machine to determine the event and a battle between three of the player's yokai against three enemy yokai. After the player sought them out in the game interface, winning the game award, or it's that the player that winning the game awards a player a card that can be used for future Tomodachi Wikipedia play. Yokai Sangokushi. Yokai Sangokushi. Literal translation. Yokai Three Kingdoms. Was announced alongside Yokai Watch Busters and Yokai Watch 3 in 2015. Sangokushi was made in a collaboration with Koei Tecmo's Romance of the Three Kingdoms series, as well as several mobile games. In Yokai Watch 2015, a collaboration with Ubisoft to release a special version of Just Dance was announced, so to feature songs from the anime soundtrack, and the result was Yokai Watch Just Dance Special Edition, Yokai Watch Dance Just Dance Special Version. It's right there. Which was released on the Wii U on December 5, 2015, exclusively in Japan. On June 27, 2018, Level 5 and Gung Ho Entertainment announces the release of Yokai Watch World in a special live stream that day. Before the same day release of the game, it was also tested online. The game will shock the world. A state from Level 5. Set to compete with Pokemon Go. It featured many new gameplay mechanics as well as the battle sequences being similar to the original 3DS games. Currently, it is only able to work within Japan, as other locations do not mostly work outside of Japan. Service for Yokai Watch World will be discontinued on December 23rd, 2022. Console-based spin-offs. Yokai Watch Blasters, Nintendo 3DS, 2015. Released worldwide outside Korea on December 7, 2018, with Moon Rabbit Crew, released on September 27, 2018. Yokai Watch Just Dance Special Edition, Wii U, 2015, exclusive to Japan, developed by Ubisoft as part of the Just Dance series. Yokai Sangokushi, Nintendo 3DS, 2016, Japan only. Collaboration with Koei's Tecmo Romance of the Three Kingdoms series. Yokai Watch Busters 2, Secret of the Legendary Treasure Banbaraya, Nintendo 3DS, 2017, Japan only. Yokai Watch Jam, Yokai Gakuen Y, YY Gakuen Seikatsu, Nintendo Switch, 2020, Japan only. Smartphone apps, Yokai Land, iOS, Android, 2015, produced by Hasbro. Yokai Taiso.aichi Puzzle Nyan, iOS, Android, 2013. Yokai Watch Wibble Wobble, or Yokai Watch Puni Puni, iOS, Android, 2015. Yokai Watch Garapo Rhythm, iOS, Android, 2018. Yokai Taichitan, iOS, Android, 2018. Yokai Sangokushi Kunitori Wars, iOS, Android, 2018. Co-produced with Tecmo. Yokai Sangokushi Kunitori Wars, iOS, Android, 2018. Co-produced. Can you stop working? Yokai Sangokushi Kunitori Wars, iOS. Yokai Sango Gucci Kutori Wars iOS Android 2018 co-produced Koei Tecmo. Yokai Watch World, co-produced by Go Entertainment Incorporated with Google Maps based engine. Watch Metal Wars, co-produced with Netmarble. Manga, God, how many more? Okay. Manga and comics. I'll see also Yokai Watch manga. 6 manga adaptations based on the series have been published by Shokukan. A series by Noriyuki Konishi began serialization in Koro Comic from December 2015 to 2012. The series has been licensed by Viz Manga under its Perfect Square imprint for its North American releases up to Volume 10 and is now directly from Viz Media as of Volume 11. In other countries, such as Europe, for example, it's under the Kaze imprint. A shoujo manga by Chikako Mori titled Yokai Watch Waku Waku Neanderthal Days began serialization in the Xiao magazine. This from December 27, 2013. In the series, it was based on an alternate timeline in which Katie Forrester would receive the Yokai Watch. This is in contrast to the main timeline where Nate Adams is in the primary. A 4-coma series run by Kokonas Runba, titled 4-panel Yokai Watch Gera Gera Manga Theater, has been serialized in Koro Comic Special from August 30, 2014 to June 30, 2018. Another 4-coma series by Anta Harukaze titled Yokai Watch 4-Panel Pun Club began serialization in Koro Ichiban from April 2015. A series by Sho Shibaboto titled Komasan, The Time for Fireworks and Miracles, or Komasan Hanabi to Kiseki no Jikan, began serialization in the Seinen and Manga magazine Hibana on April 10, 2015, and ended on September 10 of that year. A manga series based on Yokai Watch Blasters by Atsushi Oba began serialization in Koro Comic in June 2015 and ended in October of that year. A comic book series was announced in January 2017 courtesy of IDW Publishing and was released in May 2017. Noriyuki Konishi version. Loosely based on the main Yokai Watch series. A manga series by Noriyuki Konishi started serialization before the release of Yokai Watch on the Nintendo 3DS, and the debut of the original Yokai Watch anime. In the series, the art style was different from the current designs, like the early design of the Yokai Watch, and the character also has different character personalities. As the games and anime were released, the manga kept the same art styles, but the characters were also slowly developed over time. Volume 16 transitioned the current manga into the current Yokai Watch anime timeline, while still keeping this art style of the previous edition. I'm not reading this. No. Anime. Main article. List of Yokai Watch episodes. Yokai Watch, the movie. The Yokai Watch and Madayo to Itutsu no Monogatari da Nyan. Yokai Watch, Soratobu Kujira to Double Sekai no Dai Boken da Nyan. Yokai Watch Shadow Saido. Onio no Fukatsu. Yokai Watch Shadow Side. Yokai Watch Forever Friends. Yokai Watch 2019 EV series. An anime television series based on the games produced by OLM began airing in Japan on Disney XD on October 5, 2015. Most of the characters focus on Nate Adams solving problems caused by yokai. It has a higher focus on comedy than the game. Some of the episodes have a mini corner, which features one of the main yokai characters. On April 7, 2015, Level 5 unveiled a promotional video for the third season of the anime series, which premiered in July 2015. A third season features a new protagonist called Haley Ann Thomas and her yokai companion Usapion. It also features new models of Yokai Watch called Yokai Watch Model New and Yokai Watch Dream Model. The third season of the anime premiered on January 6, 2017 and entered the Busters arc in July. In February 2018, a sequel of the series titled Yokai Watch Shadow Side started airing after the original series ended on March 30, 2018. The first two episodes of the Yokai Watch anime were broadcasting as an hour-long special on April 13, 2018. The Yokai Watch Shadow Side anime lasted for over 49 episodes, ending on March 29, 2019. Why is there so much? My voice hurts. Revival series called Yokai Watch ran from April 5, 2019 to December 20, 2019 in Japan. It is a continuation of the series while serving as a prologue to the fourth movie, in which Nate receives a Yokai Watch Elder K, which looks the exact same as the Yokai Watch Elder used in Yokai Watch Shadow Side. While introducing some new yokai, some elements of Shadow Side still remain in the series, like yokai arcs and Shadow Side tribes that were used, for example. Yokai Watch Jam Yokai Gakuen Y Close Encounters of the Yenkai ran from December 27, 2019 to April 2, 2021. It is a follow-up to the sixth movie. Another revival series called Yokai Watch Music Note started airing on April 9, 2021, which reuses aspects from the first season, in which Nate now uses an enhanced version of the original Yokai Watch, which can recognize all different types of medals. In the course of the franchise's history, 6 Yokai Watch movies have been made. The first one, Yokai Watch the movie, was released in Japan on December 20, 2014. The second Yokai Watch Enma Dayoto Itsutsu no Monogatari Danyan was released in Japan December 19, 2015. And the third movie, Yokai Watch Soratobu Kujira to Double Sekai no Daiboken Danyan, an anime and live action movie, was released on December 17, 2016. The fourth film, Yokai Watch Shadow Side Oni o no Fukatsu, opened in Japan December 16, 2017. A fifth movie, Yokai Watch Forever Friends, released in Japanese theaters on December 14, 2018. A sixth movie, Yokai Watch Jam, the movie, Yokai Academy Y, Can a Cat Be a Hero? Was released in Japanese theaters on December 13, 2019. The series is being released on DVD box sets alongside rental DVDs in Japan by Kadokawa Media Factory. Every episode... Shh! Don't make that noise. Every episode to date is available on multiple video-on-demand services in Japan, such as Hulu and Rakuten Video Showtime. Overseas, at the premiere of the Yokai Watch film, Level 5 President Akihiro Hino officially announced the Yokai Watch anime would begin broadcasting internationally in 2015. He also jokingly requested Etsuko Kozakura and Tomokazu Seki, who voiced Jibanyan and Whisper respectively, to study English. In North America, Dentsu Entertainment USA announced in April 2014 that they were seeking broadcast and merchandising partners in North America for the anime. The anime began a 26-episode season on Disney XD on October 5, 2015, with the official Yokai Watch YouTube channel posting episodes a month later. Since the show had performed well, a second season, with no relation to the Japanese second season, with an additional 50 episodes, began, was broadcast on August 1, 2016. A third season premiered on July 2, 2018 on Disney XD in the United States and ended on December 29, 2018. In 2019, Disney XD removed the Yokai Watch anime from its lineup due to declining ratings, but eventually turned to a week network in a weekend-only time slot in January 2020, retaking a previous replacement of Inazuma 11 Aries. The first season's first volume was released on DVD by Encircles Entertainment on February 26, 2019, and one version of the set comes with a free comic book. The first season's second volume was released on September 3, 2019. The first movie was also brought over as a special screening one-day screening. What? On October 15, 2016. This was only in the US via Fathom events. Those who attended got Hovernyan medals. Outside of the US, first season and movie used to be available to stream on Netflix, but is now no longer available to stream. The English version of the anime dubbed as from Sprite Animation Studios for the first season. The English version of the anime used a cast from Sprite Animation Studios for the first two seasons, but they were replaced in the third season with actors from SDI Media due to budget costs and low ratings on Disney XD. Marvisa has licensed the series in Latin America, in Europe, and Africa. Viz Media Europe has licensed the series in Europe, Russia, and Africa. They premiered in the countries in the UK and Ireland on Cartoon Network on April 23, 2016. In France, it showed on three different stations. Boeing in April 2016, Google in September 2016, and Cartoon Network France in March 2017. Other countries it aired on are Germany and Austria, Nickelodeon, Spain and Africa and Boeing, Belgium and the Netherlands and Nickelodeon, and Israel and Noga? Cartoon Network also has an airing under Portugal, Turkey, Poland, and Nordic, Central and Eastern Europe feeds, starting in spring 2016. This has also hired Bulldog Licensing and German brand management company M4E to represent the brand in UK and German-speaking territories respectively. Asia. An alternative English dub began airing on Cartoon Network Asia and Toonami Asia in Asian countries from 2017. June 27, 2015. The alternative English dub uses the original Japanese names. Shogakukan Asia also licensed the series in the Philippines. Similarly, for a few years, GMA Network also made a Tagalog dub of the original anime. For Yokai Watch Shadow Side, a subversion on air in Southeast Area Asia in 2019 via Animax Asia in Australia and New Zealand. The Fusion Agency acquired the licensing and merchandising rights for the series in Australia and New Zealand. It aired in Australia on 9 Go on December 14, 2015. Music. The music for the games and anime series is composed by Level 5 employee Kenshiro Saigo. The following themes are used in both video games and anime series. In the original anime, all opening themes are performed by King Cream Soda, with lyrics by Move, vocalist Botsu. The anime themes are also dubbed into English for its North American broadcast. Recent seasons of the anime had opening and ending theme performed by Japanese YouTubers such as Soraru, Rinu, and Strawberry Prince. Sorare was in yokai. Um, Various toys such as Epon Yokai Watch and Yokai Medals have been produced based on the series. Receiving high commercial success, Hasbro released a toy line based on the series worldwide in December 2019. In July 2016, Square Enix's MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn held a special crossover event lasting until October, which allowed players to gather medals from existing in-game battles and exchange them for minions modeled after the franchise's titular yokai, as well as weapons inspired by them. In January 2018, McDonald's began offering Yokai Watch toys in US Happy Meals, alongside the much more popular Shopkins. I actually own both. Reception. The original Yokai Watch game received a score of 36 over 40 from Famitsu, with its sequel Yokai Watch 2 also scoring a 36 over 40. Yokai Watch 2 won the grand prize in Japanese Game Awards. It also won 3 other awards: Best Sales Award and 2 Excellence Awards for the second game and its third version. In 2014, Yokai Watch's manga Koro Comics won the 38th Kodansha Manga Award in Best Children's Mangas category. In the following years, it was awarded the Best Children's Manga at the 60th Shogakukan Manga Awards. When the anime first aired in 2014, the franchise became popular in Japan. By February, the first game, which originally showed only 53,654 copies, was at over 500,000 shipped. And the anime was surpassing Pokemon in TV rankings, being compared to it, and being dubbed the Pokemon Killer. By the second game's release, the first game had sold 1,195,282 copies, and the second game surpassed at that release at 1,316,707 copies. The third version also impressed at 1,244,171 units. Even the president of Level 5, Akihiro Hino, was surprised by Yokai Watch's popularity. While I did believe that would get its break, honestly, to have it come this far, where the children of Japan would get so hopped up in yokai, to the point where all the goods would sell out, is something I didn't expect. They were the second most popular characters in Japan. In a survey by Video Research. What? What was that? In a research. Where? In a survey by Video Research Limited, explanations for its popularity range from catchy songs and dances to being something parents and children could enjoy together to weird adults not being interested in it. Hino himself said that it was relatable characters and situations, relatable to modern kids, that made it popular. This also translated into toy sales, racking 55.2 billion yen for Namco Bandai. Yokai Watch toys were frequently out of stock, people having to wait in the lotteries to get a Yokai Watch and search hard for medals. Other merchandise had to wait longer because of the long licensing wait times. The demand made it the second highest product in Nikkei Trendy that year. It was a top seller in many other areas as well. The Yokai Watch Guide was the number one book in 2014. Its first theme song, Gera Gera Pono Uta, was number 50 on the Oricon singles chart, and the movie had the highest opening of any Japanese film since 2000. Yokai Watch even had a special segment on Kohaku Utagassen, Japan's most viewed music program. By 2015, sales had started to fall to numbers ranging around a quarter to one eighth of what they were the previous years. Prices were cut, and there were less visible excitement among children. By the time of the third game's release in 2016, it was on a downward slope, with the games launching about half of what the second games did, with 632,135 units. And the third game of the version launched with half of the first version sold with 337,979 units. The toy sales were 10.4 billion yen in sales and estimated to be 6.3 billion yen in 2017. Can you stop barking? This was only largely due to the hype of the two games that were coming from Pokemon's franchise, Nintendo's Pokemon. This was largely due. This was largely due to the hype of two games that were coming from Nintendo's Pokemon franchise: the Pokemon Go smartphone app and Pokemon Sun and Moon for the Nintendo 3DS. In addition to the wake of Pokemon's renewed popularity, analysts had a few other theories on why Yokai Watch was falling. Ken Hori of the Business Journal and Ollie Barter of Forbes thought it was mainly distribution issues. Products that were ordered in the summer vacation were overstocked because 6-month waiting period for copyright approvals. The reasons he had was that the toys had incompatible metals with later watches, leading to a loss of interest. Barter and Sato of Siliconera also mentioned oversaturation, with it being Sato's main focus. Unlike in its native Japan, where it experienced a short period of great popularity, Yokai Watch had an underwhelming performance in the United States. Although it got to a promising start again that region, with the original game selling at least 400,000 units there as of 2016. The sequel, Yokai Watch 2, sold less than 200,000 copies in comparison. Meanwhile, Disney XD's English broadcast on the anime series has only estimated only 100,000 to 300,000 viewers per episode, and was removed from the network schedule in 2017. Despite the franchise's unsatisfactory Western response, it remains a cult following with. Well, it's me. That should be. Remains a cult following with many attempts to revive the series, such as hashtag Save Yokai Watch, which trended on Twitter. The franchise is also popular in Europe, with original game sales outpacing Japanese as of October 2016.